Hi, my name is Etienne Herrick, and today I'll be showing you how to complete the field assessment for the Great Lakes Cover Crop Citizen Science Study. The field assessment requires just a few supplies: a tape measure or yardstick, something to take photos with, either your phone or a digital camera, and something to record your data with. You can either print out the data sheet we provide to you or enter the data directly into an online survey option on your phone or tablet. Keep in mind that if you have poor reception in your cover crop field, you may want to go with the hard copy datasheet option to avoid losing connection or your data while in the field. Okay, so now I'll walk you through how to perform each step of the field assessment, and this is the most important part of the study because the results that we produce are only as good as the data that we have to work with. When you start the field assessment, make sure to enter the date on which you're collecting your data and your participant and field IDs. Those IDs should correspond with the ones you're asked to create for the farm and management survey. Next, we'll follow the steps listed below. Step 1. Navigate to your cover crop field and take a photo of the entire field. Step 2. Rate the level of patchiness of the cover crops across the field on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being not patchy at all, 3 being half bare soil, half cover, and 5 being very patchy. Step 3. Navigate to a location in your field with average cover crop growth, making sure to avoid field edges. Step 4. Holding your arm out parallel to the ground, take a photo of the cover crop canopy. The photo should be directly overlooking the cover crops, like an aerial photograph. Make sure to avoid capturing any shadows or shoes in the photo or taking it at an angle. Here are some examples of what your photo should look like. Step 5. Rate the amount of weed pressure on a scale of 1 to 5 and collect height measurements for 3 average cover crop plants. If you're using a hard copy datasheet, you'll flip to the next page to record this information. Write down the species you're sampling and circle the unit you'll be collecting your height measurements in. Then, rank the weed pressure at this location. 1 represents very low weed pressure, 3 indicates the biomass is half weeds, half cover crops, and 5 indicates very high weed pressure, where there is significantly more weed biomass than cover crop biomass. To collect height measurements, you'll want to measure the height at which each plant naturally falls rather than extending it to its maximum height. Record those heights. If you're sampling a cover crop mixture, the last couple of steps are slightly different because we need to account for the growth of each different species in the mixture. You'll need to assign each mixture species a number on this list and record the relative proportion of each species using a visual estimate. For instance, my mixture might be 60% rye and 40% clover. These estimates should be based on plant biomass rather than the number of plants in a given area. If your mixture contains more than 4 species, just record this information for the 4 most dominant species. You'll record the unit of your height measurements and rank weed pressure the same as before, but for the height measurements, instead of measuring heights for just 1 species at your sampling location, you'll take 3 height measurements for each species in the mixture. Make sure that the height measurements for each species are recorded under the same numbers that you assigned the species at the top of the datasheet. If you're using the hard copy datasheet method, you'll need to print out the datasheet specifically for cover crop mixtures. And if you're entering your data using the online survey method, you'll be able to select whether you're entering data for a single species cover crop or a cover crop mixture. Once you've finished at your first sampling location, you'll repeat steps 3, 4, and 5 at 2 more locations in your cover crop field. By the end of the field assessment, you should have a total of 3 cover crop canopy photos, 3 weed pressure rankings, and a total of 9 height measurements for each cover crop species. If you used a hard copy datasheet, send pictures of those along with your cover crop photos to herrick.umich.edu. If you haven't yet signed up to participate, visit bleschlab.com/research and click on the Citizen Science Project, or email herrick@umich.edu. Thanks for watching and happy cover cropping!